Hey guys, my name is Paris, if you don't know me. So I represent Qatar in the powerlifting competitions internationally, really anyway. But I'm making this video to take you through my powerlifting journey, how I started and until now, the competitions I've done until now. So I started powerlifting in 2023 in June. How I started, I got a message on Instagram, and the message was like, how are you? Would you like to join competitions in Doha for squat, bench, and deadlift? I was like, yeah, why not? Because back in the day, I used to like train on my own, do normal trainings, not as an athlete, just training for my own self, not as an athlete. So when the guy came around to my Instagram, I was like, yeah, why not? Because I've been looking forward to like have people like I can train with. I've always been on my own, training on my own. But then I was like, I need people to like train together. And when the opportunity came, I was like, yeah, why not? Let's see how it goes. So it was like we train in Al Saad 3 days in a week. Yeah. So he sent me the location and the days that they usually meet. I went there. The gym was a strongman gym. And I met very friendly people, motivating people, people who are pushing you to level up. And that's how it started. That was in April. Yeah, that was in April of 2023. So apparently there was a competition that was happening. It was the BCQ Orido Cup. So you had to compete as a team to represent your team. So I think it needed like 7 to 10 people. I think around 7 people. I think 7 to 10 people. I'm not so sure. I don't remember quite well. So we trained from April. That was in April, like 13, towards mid of April, until June when the competition was being held. And it was not bad, given it was 2 months, roughly 2 months or less. You've not trained for powerlifting before, but it was good. It was a good experience. We did the Oredo Cup. I think we turned up to be number 4, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we were number 4 because most of us were new in the powerlifting. Most of us had not done powerlifting before, so it was our first meet. And according to my numbers, like I did 117.5 in squat, 62.5 in bench, and 140 in deadlift. So that, to start with, that's how I start. That was my numbers. Based on the, what is it called? Based on the commands, because powerlifting we usually have like commands. You'll get commands on squats, you'll get commands on bench, you'll get commands on deadlift. So most of us, since it was our first competition, commands were kinda off. So we did the BCQ. Mostly I'll talk about the powerlifting competitions that I've done, but I'll just highlight the other competitions that I've done. So after the BCQ went for the Middle East Strongest, I started training for the Middle East Strongest, which was to be held towards end of 2023. But there was some things that happened and the competition was pushed to January, towards end of January of 2024, which was held in Dubai. So we trained for it and we went to Dubai, and I got second position. It was good though. Second competition and second place, so that was good. And then apparently the BCQ Orido Cup was, I don't know if it was a qualifiers or something, but most people that I was training with got a message to go and represent Qatar in the Asian competitions, which were to be held in Malaysia. I didn't get the message. I think my totals were still off to go internationally. So I didn't get the message. So, and this was still my first competition. So, okay, then we went for the second powerlifting competition, which was nationals in March of 2024, which was to be held in Qatar. So we did 137.5 in squat, 75 in bench, and 162.5 in deadlift. So that was an improvement from the BCQ Orido Cup. Then with this, I did qualify to go for the World Championship, which was to be held in June of 2024 in Lithuania. So in Lithuania, that was my first, I'll say my first international powerlifting competition. And you never know with these competitions how it will go, because one, it's a new country you're going to. It's all like weather changes, the time changes, and everything can mess you up. So with international competitions, with what I've learned, although I don't like put it into use though, like you have to go couple days before, like you have to go way earlier than your competition day if you're cutting weight, because you need to like adjust to the weather. Rather, you need to continue with your cutting, if you're doing the water cut and all that, so that you be ready for the competition. But if you go like way close in your cutting weight, you might mess up. And like if you mess your weight randomly or rather way too fast, it will affect on your performance. So with Lithuania, my performance was literally affected. Like during squat, like you feel you don't have the strength like to grind on squat. You don't have the strength to push, like literally. So with squat, I only got, I think, the first call, which was 130. I didn't get the second call. I didn't get the third call. And then we went for bench. Bench was okay because I did grind on the 80 kg. And then we had 170 deadlift. So we came back from that. Was really a learning place, I rather say so, because with Asians, no, with Lithuania, that was like the first time you'll meet the international powerlifters, the ones that have been there for way long, the ones that are doing way too great. So you'll learn from them. You'll see how they are doing it. You'll know how to carry yourself going forward. And I'll say that really helped me, because once I came back from Lithuania, I had to adjust a lot, more so on my techniques, on my, anyway, how you carry yourself, rather you have to adjust it. It was a learning place. Then we went from Lithuania, we came back, and then we went for the Asians. Asians is usually held in December, and it was in Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan, I'll say it was quite good. That was in December 2024, because I did 150 squat. So that's from Lithuania, that was like a 20 kg increase from the squat. So 150, 82.5 in bench, and 180 in deadlift. And that's where I did mark the 400 mark, because we did attain 412.5 kgs. So that was a milestone for me. So Lithuania will always have a place in me, because I learned a lot from Lithuania. And Uzbekistan will also have a place in my heart, because that's where I did reach the 400 mark. You know, those milestones you have to. Then we came back and we had nationals back in February of 2025. So we did the 150 squat, same like Uzbek, and then we had 90 of bench, and then we had 182.5 in deadlift. So yeah, the next competition from that was supposed to be Worlds, but I didn't go to Worlds. I opted out of Worlds for various reasons. And then the next competition was in August, which was West Asia, which was, the performance was good anyway. And there we had 165 in squat, we had 85 in bench, and we had 180 in deadlift. So we did reach a 430 total. And then from then I had to go for Strongman Bahrain. Between West Asia and I didn't have I was not so prepared in Strongman Bahrain because of various reasons. I did lose my dad in between, after West Asia and in between the Strongman Bahrain. So I was home for almost a month, and it was a tough time for me. And the transition has been really tough. It's still tough, but we're getting there. So I did the Strongman Bahrain actually without prepping, because I did only, I think, 1 to 2 weeks of prep. So like in between that 1 week, you need to push, like you haven't trained for like a month, and then you need to push it way further. Like you have to push it because you haven't trained and going in for the competition. So anyway, I still went to Bahrain in October, and we did the strongman, which I ended up being number 4. It wasn't bad without training. And yeah, so the next competition from Bahrain was to be the Asians in Istanbul in December of 2025. And Istanbul, I'll say I was 50-50 on going to Istanbul, because after coming back in between home, Bahrain, and starting to prep for Asians, a lot of things were in a factor, and I'm glad I still went, because regardless of it being not the performance that I would have wished for, I'll say it was still one of my best competitions. Like, I didn't perform well, but I was happy. I don't know if it makes sense, but not good performance, but a girl was happy. So yeah, so we did 160 in squat, we did 80 in bench, and we did 180 in deadlift. All of them were not good totals, but it was a good experience, a good way of like testing myself. So yeah, so the next competitions ought to be, it was meant to be nationals in February, but I opted out again of nationals. So yeah, I opted out of nationals, various reasons, but I don't regret it anyway. I didn't do nationals, so that means I ain't going to Worlds. And that still gives me a good way to like push myself, push the volume up. And by the time I'm getting to like peak or like to prepare for a competition, I'll be ready. So yeah, I don't know, but let's see how it turns out to be. So my next competition should be probably in August for the nationals. Is it nationals or West Asia? I don't know if they'll have the West Asia, but whichever will be, I think we'll be ready for it. So yeah, that has been my powerlifting journey. So overall, I think my best performance has been in competition has been squat, we've had 165, bench we've had 90, and the deadlift we've had 182.5. And my best total in competition has been 430 kg. So let's see if this year we can push that way forward. And I've been competing in the 69 kg, And you know, the more like you keep going through the weight cuts, cutting weight, all those, like, you somehow tend to think like you should go way forward, like you should go to a category that is higher than what you competed. So I've been thinking of going to the next category, which is 76, because since 2023 until now, I've been competing as a 69 kg. So if I started the squat at 117 and now you're pushing the squat at 165 and still being at the same weight category, it's a lot, I think. So I tend to think like I should go to the next category, but time will tell. So let's see how my performance goes in training in between now until the next competition, which we've been training until the next competition. And then we can figure out if the next competition we should go higher class or we should still maintain at 69. But let's see. So until then, that's been my powerlifting journey. So we usually have like bad competitions and then we have some good competitions. But either way, we have to push, we have to keep training and at least try to push your best, try to push yourself to do better than the last competition. If it happens, circumstances may force you not to do better than the last competition, but we have to keep moving. Let that not be a discouragement for you to go back, rather to keep moving forward. So yeah, until the next, I'll take you through my training journey from now until the next competition. So stay tuned until the next one. Bye.